Hi Pisces, hi Dreamweavers, your first card out this evening. I did a reading earlier and I started to shuffle and it was like, oops, here we go. These two fell out and I started looking at them and I was just like, oh, I feel this. And the first card was Atlantis. And some of you may resonate with this, but what's really interesting about Atlantis and why I felt I needed to come back this evening and do another reading for you is that I was watching something about Atlantis and they were talking, and the person I was watching was talking about how Atlantis had fallen into the sea, right? And we all know that Atlantis has fallen into the sea. I don't know a lot about Atlantis. I haven't done a lot of research about it. But the other part about it was that it felt the person I was watching, the woman I was watching, said that Atlantis fell into the sea because although they were very advanced technologically and they had like big buildings and very, very, very advanced population, that they all perished because they did not follow the rules of some sort, like whatever universal law, the law of God, I don't know, like whatever rules it was. And you can look this up for yourself. And what I thought about when I saw this is that you have someone in your energy. You have someone, or there's someone out there. And I don't think it's you. I don't know. There's some dolphins swimming here in the background. And dolphins are very, very, very smart. They look like dolphins, could just be fish, but they look like dolphins, could be swordfish, that are swimming around. And what this made me think of is that what I get from this, the energy that I get from this, is that there's someone out there that has done a lot of work. They either they did a lot of work, they're doing a lot of work, and they are not following. There's some rule or some karmic law or something that they're not following, and that's going to be their downfall. Like everything that they've done is going to be taken away. And it's really crazy to think like maybe it's an earthquake. I don't know what happened, but I suppose an earthquake can the earth can open up, and if it decides to at any point, any place, and just kind of swallow up a whole city, drown a whole city, and drop a whole city into the ocean. I mean, it seems inconceivable in our minds, which is why I think like people will do things and think that they can get away with it, and be going along, building a life, building, and it will look like everything is great until it's not. And the next card and I don't feel like this is you. I feel like this is someone in your energy, because the next card that came out is wisdom. So what I feel about this, and there's a unicorn on here, right? So a unicorn is a one of a kind, right? And so maybe in this person's energy, there was a unicorn that said, hey, don't do what you're doing. I know it looks good. I know it feels good. I know you're reaping all the benefits, but there's a better way. It might take longer, but let's do it this way. And the person just would not listen. Would not listen. I don't feel this is you. I feel like the wisdom was coming from you, Pisces. Because Pisces are generally a unicorn. Like you're loners, right? Like you generally will not follow. A lot of Pisces are leaders. And although Pisces go through a lot of pain in their life, you avoid this type of downfall where Pisces will generally try to avoid the type of downfall where your whole life is falling apart and falling, being engulfed by the earth. And what's really interesting about that whole picture is that we spend our whole lives trying to manifest these earthly things, right? But at any given time, the earth can take the same things that you were trying to manifest on this earth can easily be taken away from you by the earth itself. And so it's really interesting that we don't obey that people do not obey these karmic laws. And we have unicorns, or you have what you call the black sheep, that don't follow the pack, so to speak, because there's no pack. Unicorns don't run in pack. Unicorns are unicorns. When you see one, it's a rarity. It's a rare thing to see a unicorn. But will the people that see the unicorn, will they recognize that this is a unicorn. Because in this picture here, obviously you can see, right? It has, it has the horn that clearly differentiates it from a horse or from some other animal, right? It's not a goat. It's not a, it looks like a horse, but it's not a horse. It's a unicorn. And anyhow, we're gonna keep going. I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of wisdom that you have someone in this may not even have happened yet. This is a downfall. Like this Atlantis gives me the sense of a downfall that is coming to someone in your energy. And you try to give them the wisdom, and look how you're looking. Like you're gonna watch this happen. Right? And there's still beauty around whatever has sunk underground, but it's just there for other creatures to enjoy, right? The unicorn is not a water animal, so it's not going to go down into the ocean and swim and enjoy whatever beauty is develops within the ocean at that sea level, below sea level. I don't know. I just feel like this is something that's, and you can see almost like it's not, probably not as beautiful as Atlantis is. You can pull up pictures. I don't know where those pictures have come from, because Atlantis was here a long, long time ago, as far as what we know. I know many people will say that Atlantis is mythical, but I don't think so. Personally, I think, you know what, let me do a quick search for Atlantis. You know, from an archaeological perspective, it's really not clear, that it ever existed. But, it became popular that there was a city of Atlantis that just drowned at some point. But to me, it's neither here nor there. To me, it's more that there's someone in your energy who thought they were doing really well. They thought they did all the things, but they didn't. It was like they didn't do it in the right way, and at some point they'll be stripped. All the effort and the work that they put in, they'll be stripped of it, because it was they betrayed some karmic laws to get what they wanted. And as the unicorn, you tried to stop them. Anyway, let's keep going. I'm going to pull a few more on this. Let me tell me more about Atlantis. Tell me about this energy of Atlantis here. Help me with this energy of Atlantis. I just saw the devil twice. Normally, this is like quick. It's I don't know why this energy. I have to take a break. Oh, wow. Let's see. The Lovers, the Seven of Pentacles, and then the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Someone's been waiting. They've been stuck waiting for this, whatever it is that they were manifesting, this Atlantis, so to speak, with their pentacles, whatever it is that they were working on. They've been waiting for it to come to fruition. They've been waiting for the balance, right? And they were feeling kind of stuck. Speak to you, but it's really ironic that at some point they're going to become, there's an energy of with the Eight of Swords in reverse. They're going to be, what I feel is that they're going to get a shock, right? Because I feel like on this journey, like they've gotten to a point where maybe they feel stuck, right? They feel balanced. but the Eight of Swords fell out in reverse. So there's a point where they're going to be unstuck, but they're going to gain clarity about their situation and what they've done. And with the Seven of Swords and the Two of the Lovers, there could be two people involved with this. There's two people involved in this energy, this Atlantis energy. And you know why I say that? Because look at this. There are two fish, or whatever you want to call it, swordfish, dolphins, whatever, under, and I don't think they're dolphins, they're pretty deep, but whatever fish they are, deep in the sea together here. But yeah, like look at how hard they worked, and he's just looking, and he's like, am I ever going to be able to take this? And there are two of them. There are two people in this energy. Give me give. Oh yeah, the Hangman in reverse. Oh, they're gonna gain clarity. What clarity are they gaining in this situation? Oh, they're going to wish that they had been patient. They're gaining clarity, and this clarity is coming from spirit. They're going to wish that they had been patient. That the wisdom that you gave them, that you were giving them, that they didn't listen to, they're not going to have a choice. Spirit is coming in. And what's worse is that, what did I say? The Ten of Pentacles, it's in reverse. Spirit's coming in to strip this person's strip this person's harvest, strip all the work that they put in. They didn't even get to the Eight of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles is here in reverse. Look how he's looking. He's like, is it gonna work? Finally, they had to go back and reflect, and by the time they get unstuck, it's too late. The Ten of Pentacles is already in reverse, and there's karma. There's I don't want to say there's hell to pay, but there's a reckoning, so to speak. There's an awakening, so to speak. There is a whoa. There's the Chariot. There's a reckoning. The Chariot with there's another card that fell. I'm trying to grab it because I have a feeling that I don't feel, usually the Chariot is like, hey, we're coming, like it's almost like Spirit is coming to take them, but they're not going exactly. Okay. The Chariot and the Eight of Wands, this is going to happen so fast, this movement, they're not going to know what hit them. They are not going to know what hit them. Eight of Wands. Where they're going to be shocked. They're just going to be so shocked at where they're ending up. This is not what they anticipated. There's fast forward movement. The Chariot is here, and with the Temperance and the Lovers, and and here's the thing. Here's the weirdest thing about all of this, guys. And I know this is like all of this is happening, and so there's all this fast forward movement, and they may feel like they may initially feel like they are moving forward, like something's gonna happen. I always tell you, like, the feeling of moving forward, the feeling of anticipation and fear, like when something is coming in, that anticipation sometimes is the same feeling that you have, like the anxiety and everything that you have when the doom is going to happen. Oh my gosh. Why don't you want me to say this, Spirit? They're on the fast track to the fast track to nowhere, like the road to nowhere. They're on the road to the pinnacle. This is a fast track to the pinnacle. 10 of Pentacles in reverse. The actions that they've taken, and it's by the time they turn around and wake up, it's going to be too late. Tell me about the wisdom. Tell me about what this. Yeah, they left you out in the cold. Like they ignored you. Whatever advice that you tried to give them, this is somebody that ignored your advice, that just left you hanging. Like they were just like, okay, no, this is what we want to do. We know what we're doing, and we're not gonna. They weren't gonna listen to you no matter what you said. Why the Five of Pentacles? Too many. Why the Five of Pentacles? You know what you did? You just got on your sailboat and you sailed away and you said, okay, that's what you want to do. Fine. And here's the 10 of Cups for you. You said, you know what? I'm going to sail away and I'm going to go find my happy life, my happy family somewhere else. You don't want to listen to me? You want to do it your way? Have it your way. And now there is, now they have the reckoning with spirit. And it's coming in like a wrecking ball. I don't see the tower here, but this chariot and this 8 of Wands, the tower may as well be here. And the 10 of Pentacles is in reverse. What else about this unicorn? I feel like you're the unicorn. So what else does Pisces need to know here? What else does Pisces need to know? I feel like you just let go of the burden. Like you just said, okay, you know, you the King of Cups is at the bottom of the deck. As you move forward, Pisces, you just said, okay, fine. I'm gonna get on my throne. I'm balanced. The Two of Cups was just here. You know, I'm balanced. I know what I'm talking about. Whether or not you think that I know what I'm talking about, or you think that I'm the subject matter expert in this, it doesn't matter. Like, you guys, go ahead. And I feel it's you guys because I feel like it's two people, and they're going to drown in their actions. Look at you, and this is you. You're like, where am I going? Exactly. You're moving forward and you're moving on to the next thing. You didn't get tied up in what they were doing, and you decided that it's not for you. You have choices about what you have available for you, and you were not gonna get tied up or let them tie you up in any BS. You weren't gonna get tied up in any BS. I'm trying to think. You know, I don't like to pry into other people's energy too much. 10 of Wands is just at the bottom of the deck. What does Pisces need to do in this situation? I just saw the Magician. What does Pisces need to do in this situation, Spirit? I feel like I'm hearing like you need to stay out of it. If you wanna maintain your happiness, you need to stay out of it. This Magician keeps coming out. The Magician, the Ace of Swords in reverse, and the Wheel of Fortune. Very interesting. looks like whatever they did, and I don't know, I didn't get a sense that this was something that they did to you per se, but for some reason, whatever they did, whatever magic they did it without clarity. But like, interestingly enough, like the wheel of fortune is here, right? So it's like the wheel of fortune for you, the wheel of fortune is turning in your favor no matter what. um I felt this magician energy. Six of Pentacles, breadcrumbing. It's as if they did this magic without clarity to turn the wheel of fortune in their favor, and now they are Six of Pentacles in reverse. The everything's in reverse. Like, it's the Ten of Pentacles. Like, they this magic they did turn their turn their fortune in reverse. Like, it turned the like, there's no equal give and take. There was no equal, whatever they were doing, there was no equal give and take. They did it without clarity. There was no truth in what they were doing to try to turn this wheel of fortune in their favor. But they really thought they were the magician. They thought they did some stuff. Why did you need to know this? I keep yawning all of a sudden. It's like, I feel like they're exhausted. I'm sorry. All of a sudden, I just felt like yawning. It's like they're exhausted. It's like all this work they put in is amounting to nothing. They were breadcrumbing. They were not. There was no equal give and take. So whatever endeavor that they had gotten into that they thought was going to move them forward, there was no equal give and take. There was. They did it. They didn't have. They didn't. They were not clear. There was no clarity. And they're not going to tell you the truth about it. Ace of Swords in reverse. This is someone that has no clarity or nothing. They need a handout now. They need a handout now, but they don't want to tell you. Like, they are still presenting. This is someone that's still presenting themselves to you as the Wheel of Fortune in the upright. And I think whoever these people are, like, they believe, whoever this is in your energy. And I feel like it's a couple, because the Lovers is here. I feel like they believe that they believed honestly that they have the power to make anything happen that they wanted to. And I don't know. There could have been a destiny swap. You may have seen it. You were the unicorn. You're the wise one. And you just walked away and you said, okay. But see, it's like when you walked away, Pisces, you took away the power, but they are so much in their ego. They couldn't see how unclear they were, because they are so sure that they are the magician. They're so sure that they have what it takes. They have the magic. They know what to do. They know who to talk to. They know what to say. Whatever that is, it's going to hit them hard, and it's going to happen fast. It's going to be quick. This is a weird energy. That's why I don't do too many readings in the evenings. Energy gets weird at night. I just think you start to feel all the rest, the conflict. Exactly, you start to feel all the conflict. This person is behind the scenes in conflict and chaos, but they're not going to tell you. They're not telling you the truth. But you're not even worried about it because here you are. Like your focus on your focus is what do you do next for you and where do you go next. You're not focused on them, and you're already in your 10 of Cups. You are already in your 10 of Cups. This was weird. It's one of those it's one of those energies here that when someone thinks that they know more than you, they don't look at the knowledge that you have. They don't see it for what it is. And they maybe even go against you. But see, what I see here, it doesn't matter what they did. I mean, they did leave you out in the cold. They did leave you out in the cold. So, they go against you. And I think, actually, you may have even put yourself out in the cold and said, yeah, I'm not taking this journey with you. You do what you got to do, but I don't want any parts of it. I'm not going to reap any of that karma. So when things shrink, when things sink, when the boat sinks, you're like, I'm not going to be on it. You're going to be on that boat by yourself. Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, you're on your way. This is you. You know what's what. You're intelligent. You're nurturing. You tried to nurture this person, but they Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups. Ace of Wands. And the 6 of Cups in reverse. You let go of the memories. Like, you're not letting anyone come back and manipulate you. And double aces. 11-11. That's significant. 11-11. You're not letting anyone come back and manipulate you. Look at that. Your memories are wrapped in these aces, in this new beginning. And it doesn't matter. Like, you're not letting anyone come back in and use your emotions to put you back on the wheel with them. On that wheel of karma with them. And you have a lot of fiery energy, but you also have a lot of, you have fire, and not just is it fire energy, but you have that water energy, the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups. So it's very balanced. This is a very balanced new beginning for you, where you're just letting bygones. It's like you're letting bygones be bygones. That's where you're at in your journey. You're nurturing what you have. You're nurturing those who obey the laws of nature, because you're the Queen of Pentacles herself. Here it is. I'm sorry. You're the Queen of Pentacles. So you're very in tune with the laws of nature, the laws of karma, the laws of reciprocity. You're not allowing this is amazing. And see, there's 3 aces here. Do you have the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Wands for you upright, and the Ace of Swords for them in reverse. And there's conflict and chaos on the other side, and you know it. And so you're not, your advice is not to get caught up in the emotion of things, to get pulled back into another cycle. People will tug on your emotions. 555. There's the 5 of Cups. The 5 of Pentacles was here. Yeah, they're in regret. They're going to be... This could be someone who did something to you. The Two of Cups here. This could be the Two of Cups and the Lovers are here. You know, the Lovers are here because I feel like there were two people, but there could be someone who did something to you and they're in regret about what they did. Or maybe they're in regret for not listen. They're regretting that they didn't listen to you, but they don't want to tell you. They are, they're too much in their ego. But they have clarity. They're not bound or tied. Like maybe at one time they really were bound or tied to whatever it is that they were doing to get what they wanted. But now they realize like, no, it's not working. It's not going to work. And there's conflict. And the karma's coming fast. I don't know what the advice is for this. Spirit, what's the advice? The advice is for you to not get caught up in it. And to let them reap what they sowed. That is the karma. That is the advice. Honestly. Collect your flowers. Working with flowers opens your heart and brings blessings to others through your life purpose. Well, I mean, right? You're a Pisces, so I know you always want to do well. So there you go. If you want, you can do that, but don't get involved. You know, if they deserve the blessing, Spirit will decide if they deserve the blessing. And if not, walk away from the situation in order to resolve it. You got to walk away. Yeah, that's just it. Like whatever the situation is, whatever happened, you have to walk away and let it go. But you know, you don't have to walk away in vain or in pain or in anger. You can still get flowers and, you know, let Spirit handle it. Because, you know, it's really interesting. Flowers are, especially roses, they're the highest vibrational flower out there. And when you nurture flowers, it does open up your heart. Do you know how you feel when you put a nice vase of flowers out and it's beautiful but you know, you can, as you do this for someone else, you can, as you do this, you can be thinking of someone else and, you know, maybe share that energy with them if you feel called. I don't know the situation here because I feel like someone left you out in the cold. Yeah, so maybe you put yourself out in the cold. Honestly, there's regret. There's much regret. Because at this point, you know, it's really interesting when we try to tell people like, hey, don't do this or don't do that. Don't engage in this behavior, and they choose to, and we have to let them, right? The interesting thing is that like you continued on your journey. So as you continue on your journey, now you're not going to stop your journey to allow them to reap their karma and then wait for them to catch up. No, they have to reap what they sowed. Right? And so if there's conflict, you're not going to go jump in and engage in the conflict and pick up their karma. No. And yeah, you just got to let it go. Let go and, you know, get some flowers. You know, it's almost like, you know, I'm feeling like it's almost like, you know, whenever someone makes a decision, they get injured and you just got to go to that resting place and you just got to lay flowers and you got to let it go. You got to let it go. People, you know, I feel also, Pisces, with your energy here, this Queen of Pentacles energy and this Ace of Wands, and you letting go of like memories. I feel like this is you letting go of the past finally and just acknowledging it for what it was, right, in your life. And but I feel like there will be people that there'll be a lot of regret because maybe at one time when it seemed like you had no idea what you were talking about, people are finally going to start to see. They will get the clarity. They will see you advance. They will see because they're not blindfolded anymore. They're not blindfolded by their own egos anymore. You know, the ego will fall off. Although some of them are still in their ego, but the ego will fall off. And once they're not blindfolded in their ego, because I feel like that's what it was. Like they weren't blindfolded by anything else but their ego. They just didn't want to hear it from you. And Spirit is now saying, okay, well, here I am. You know, Temperance was here. Here I am. You know, here I am. You didn't want to hear it from Pisces. here I am. Let me show you. Let me show you what happens now because you didn't listen. And I feel like you'll have many people like this in your life, and I just felt this energy that you may have had many people throughout your life, even when you were younger. I don't know how old you all are out there, but even when you were younger, that you may have given people advice, right? Because you're the old soul, and they took your advice, and they heard you, but they didn't hear you. They didn't take the advice. They didn't heed the warnings from you. And karmas can be very slow sometimes to catch up to people. It might take decades. Could be tomorrow. Right? You could do something today, you get your karma tomorrow. You could do something today, you don't get it for 10 years, 20 years. And I feel like some of these people have been building their life on faulty ground. And now they're about to have it, it's like Atlantis, it's about to fall into the sea. And it's going to happen so quick, they're not going to know what hit them. But I feel like some of these people, they will know, but they don't understand the gravity. They don't understand the extent to which this is going to happen. Because, like I said, the Eight of Swords is in reverse, so they're starting to see. But these people move without clarity. They didn't move in truth. Maybe they had the truth and they just made a choice not to move in truth. Wow, how do people do what they do? I don't know. Leadership. Take charge of the situation. Take charge of your life. That's what you've been doing. You are in a take charge position. You cannot take charge of someone else's situation. You just take charge of your situation. And sometimes taking charge just means you pray for someone.
Speak to me, but
right?
It's really ironic.
You pray for people. You don't always jump in and reap their karma. You say a prayer for them. You wish them the best. It doesn't make sense to go and give advice to someone who wasn't listening to you before, does it? All right, let's close this out. I'm going to pull a soul's truth to close this out. No. Actually, pull one of these. There we go. Inner strength. Nothing moves me from my path. So the light. Nothing moves me from my path to the light because I have complete confidence in myself. I realize my innate qualities and abilities and know that with God, I can do anything. All the power I need is within me. I don't know. I feel with that card, inner strength, flowers, and that last card that fell out, take the lead. I don't know. This person may come back and ask you for help. I just felt that they may come back and look to you. But I'm feeling that's why the flowers came out. It was like sometimes you just gotta buy flowers and pray for someone. You can't jump in and reap their karma. So, and that will take inner strength not to do, especially as a Pisces who likes to jump in and help others. All right, Pisces. All in all, your reading is good. It's just watching the demise and the people crumble. Some people crumble around you, and there's nothing. I don't say it lightly, and I don't say it. There's no. In French, we would say haine or hate in that. But it is what it is, right? And that's part of the realization, or that's part of the initiation, sort of. When you finally realize that you're not meant to step in and do for everyone. Yeah, that's the hardest. I think maybe that's one of the hardest parts of the journey. It was easy. It felt easy anyway. It's going to feel the hardest, but it's what you need to do. It felt easy when you were jumping in all the time because you thought, I know what to do. I know the answer. I know. But when people didn't listen, or when people doubted you, you ended up in a lot of pain. guess this is just a shift, right? Like we have a mindset shift. It's kind of a shift in the way that when we shift the way that we look at things and the way that we do things, it's not that we don't experience pain. We just experience it in different ways. And sometimes that pain that we experience is through watching the others experience the pain of the seeds, the karma that's coming from the seeds that they sowed, that now that they have to reap. The harvest that they're reaping from what they sowed. And that's probably one of the hardest lessons for you, Pisces, as someone who knows so much with all your wisdom. But see, this is a lesson for you, because this is a lesson that just because you have the wisdom doesn't mean that you get to jump in and intercept. Sometimes spirit was here, temperance was out here. Sometimes it's no longer your job. You still have to live your life. All right, Pisces. Thank you for joining me. Let's keep weaving that dream together, and I will see you in the next one.